I interviewed with the companies like D. Shaw, Arcesium, Goldman, and Coordination, Intuit, Sprinklr, Microsoft, and like I interviewed for around I guess 9 companies, and like I was able to get through the coding round of each and every company that I appeared for, and I was rejected in the interviews. So back-to-back rejections, and that those days were very depressing for me
हे
because
गाइस, कैसे हो आप सब? तो आज की वीडियो बहुत ही स्पेशल एंड इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाली है। स्पेशल इसलिए क्योंकि आज हम बात करेंगे अबाउट रिजेक्शंस, हाउ टू हैंडल रिजेक्शंस, हाउ टू एक्सेप्ट देम एंड कन्वर्ट देम इनटू विक्ट्री। जो आज के हमारे स्पेशल गेस्ट है अभिषेक, वाज रिजेक्टेड बाय 8 प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड कंपनीज स्ट्रेट। So he knows how to accept rejections and make them into victory. और हम बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीज के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं जो क्वेश्चंस मुझे बहुत बार आते हैं। यस, अबाउट ऑफ कैंपस इंटर्नशिप्स एंड ऑफ कैंपस प्लेसमेंट एज अ फ्रेशर. So it is possible Abhishek has received off-campus placement in Amazon, Code Nation as well as DirectEye. So how it was possible and what were the interview rounds and questions asked, let's see in the video. So let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Nisha Sajnani and today we have with us Mr. Abhishek Vanjani, who is currently working in DirectEye and has completed his BTech from NSIT in 2020. Hello Abhishek, welcome to our channel. We are glad to have you here.
hi Nisha, it's great to be here.
Yeah, and firstly, congratulations for getting into DirectEye.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. So from multiple rejections to multiple offers, how do you feel?
Like it feels really very good. Like there was a point when I had lost all the confidence. I didn't have any confidence about like whether I will be able to get an internship or placement or not. And to the point that I had an option to choose which company to go. It was a great learning, and it was like it gave me lots of confidence that yeah, I can do, like I belong here. So yeah.
Yeah. So rejections teaches you a lot. In this video, we'll talk about rejections, how to handle rejections, and so much more. So let's get started. Firstly, Abhishek, can you tell me about your college life? Some insights about your college life. How did it went and all?
The college life was amazing except the last year, which was like disturbed because of like COVID. So all the fourth year fun was basically lost because of these COVID days. But yeah, it was quite good in total. I had all the fun, and I had all the like preparations also and the fun time also. So it was a mix of everything. So it was good.
That's great, Abhishek. So can you tell us about your internships journey? For which all companies did you interviewed for, got rejected, got placed, and everything we want to know?
So, like my on-campus internship journey like started in around July end, August beginning. So I interviewed with the companies like D. Shaw, Arcesium, Goldman, and Coordination, Intuit, Sprinklr, Microsoft, and like I interviewed for around I guess 9 companies, and like I was able to get through the coding round of each and every company that I appeared for, and I was rejected in the interviews. So back-to-back rejections, and that those days were very depressing for me because it was like I used to start my day at 6, going to like wake up at 6 and reaching at 8 to the college for the interview, and the whole day I was busy in the interview process, back to back giving interviews from multiple companies, getting rejected, coming back at 10 in night, and again the next day same journey starts. So it was a very like disturbing journey, but yeah, I got to learn a lot during that journey. Then I was able to get an on-campus internship with Samsung. So it was my ninth company I appeared for. Later on, I appeared for, got referrals for Expedia and Amazon, and I was able to get the internship um, in both the places. And finally, I chose Amazon and interned with them.
So you got off-campus internship with Amazon basically.
Yeah.
So what is the process of getting off-campus internships in a product-based company? So most of the students ask this. So I want to know it from you.
So basically, there are multiple ways in which like we can get an off-campus internship or
Mhm.
a placement. So some of the ways include first way is to get a referral. So this is something which is like the most difficult thing. Usually people fear to approach random people, but I would always suggest that you can like ping anyone on LinkedIn, and they will be happy to refer if you have got the correct skills and correct knowledge about, and if you are eligible for the
Mm.
job opening, they will be happy to like refer you. So they also like to see good people working in their company, so they would be happy to refer you. That's not an issue. So openly ask for referral, but obviously do your homework before that. Some people, like when I have started now being at the other side, so I am now referring many people, so I know the story behind the scenes. So many people now
Mhm.
uh, randomly message like I want a referral without doing their like research that whether the company is actually hiring or not. So that should not be done. Do your research well, see the various job openings that are there, and then ask for referral, and the other person will be happy to refer you for sure. So
Yeah.
this is the way you ask for the referrals. So
Mhm.
this basically, if you do your homework, then there would be a positive impact on the other person, like he is actually doing his work in order to get an opportunity. So that gives a positive impact and the person will be happy to refer. Other thing is you can go for opportunities that are there on sites like Hacker Earth. So Hacker Earth has many hiring challenges that are there. So obviously less for internship roles and more for full-time roles.
Okay.
But yeah, there you might find some opportunities relevant to you. I have many of my friends who are able to get the job through Hacker Earth by the
Okay.
contest without any referrals, without anything. So yeah,
Mhm.
they do have good hiring challenges. In fact, Zeta also have hiring challenges on Hacker Earth. I have seen some of them for the experienced positions. So yeah, many
Okay.
companies have their hiring challenges on Hacker Earth, and you can keep an eye on that site for some good
Mhm.
opportunities. So these are basically two major ways by which you can get off-campus opportunity. Other than
Yeah.
that, you may also apply on the career site. So some companies directly give the opportunity to the candidates who apply on their career site. So yeah, that's
Correct.
also an option. So these are the, I guess, basic three options which you can go forward to get a off-campus opportunity.
Mm. You mentioned a great point that ask for it, ask, and then only you will get. So that's the most important thing that people lack. So you have to stand for yourself and get that opportunity and go for it. And
Yeah,
one more
correct.
thing that you mentioned here, you were rejected by 8 companies, and at that time, most of your friends might be getting internships at these good companies, these product-based companies. So, how did you like manage all the rejections? How did you get over it and prepared yourself to get to the ninth company?
So yeah, it was a very difficult journey. If I talk about a small incident, so
Mhm.
I was like selected for two companies, Sprinklr and Microsoft, and they were having their interviews on the same day. And one of
Mhm.
my friend was appearing for the Microsoft interview, and other was appearing for the Sprinklr interview. So I
Mhm.
thought that so it was I guess around fifth to sixth company. So I had already seen 4 to 5 rejections, and I was like quite depressed about it because like
Yeah.
I really wanted a job at that time,
Mhm.
and I had two opportunities to prove myself. So unfortunately, I was rejected from both the companies, and both of my friends were able to get the offers in their respective companies.
Oh
So
my God.
yeah, so that was like day when I thought like something is lacking and something is
Mhm.
missing that I need
Mhm.
to work on.
Mhm.
So I made some like really bad mistakes. I like, if I talk about the questions that were asked and I wasn't able to answer them, so like people will say how he's like coding and he's not able to answer such easy questions. So yeah, the I also got nervous, and there were days when I was like not able to answer this simplest of the problems.
What was the missing part and how did you overcome that?
So first thing that was missing was I wasn't in the initial companies. I wasn't prepared well for the computer science fundamentals. So we
Mhm.
are usually taught that DSA is the only thing that is required to get through
Mhm.
the interviews. But yeah, another important role that like computer science fundamentals also play important role in the clearing of the interviews. So in DSHA and Arcesium, I was able to answer each and every question that was asked based on DSA, and the only thing that
Okay.
was lacking was computer science fundamentals. So I wasn't able to brush up the things because I like missed them. I thought that I will be preparing them in the last moment, but yeah, I wasn't able to. And then as the reactions continued, I got nervous sometimes. I was making some silly mistakes, wasn't able to answer some questions because of like multiple
The pressure
rejection.
and
So
everything, yeah.
yeah, and so the pressure was building, and yeah, I wasn't able to. I was getting nervous in the interviews, so
Mm-hmm.
that was the mistake that basically I made. So yeah, it was learning basically, because it was first time that I was giving interviews, so
Yeah,
I was not aware about the things. So it was good learning
yeah,
experience.
yeah,
Like
yeah. That's great. Hmm.
I completely like feel very happy about the rejections, because of them only I was able to like get to learn so much.
Correct.
So
And I
that was
feel whenever you get rejected from some place, you actually might not belong to that place. You might belong to some better place, I feel. So rejections are good, and people should accept it and just learn from it, realize it, what problems you have, and improvise that at the next interview rounds.
yeah, one incident that like one small story that I would like to like tell over here.
Yeah.
So I had the interview during my internship. I had the interview with the Assisium, and the first round of the interview was really very well. I was able to like answer each and everything that was asked. So like it was 100% round for me. So yeah, I was rejected in the third round, like the final round in that company. And later on, as I told, that I interned with Amazon. So during my internship at Amazon, I found my interviewer from Assisium for the
From
first round
Amazon.
interview. He was
Yeah.
working at Amazon. So I didn't recognize him, because like I had given multiple interviews and I was like no clue about the person, but he recognized me. And I was like,
Yeah.
he is taking interview for so many people and still he is able to like recognize me.
Yeah.
So he was like, it was good that you were rejected from that company and you like came over here, because I also came over here now.
And how was your internship journey at Amazon? So, what did you learn there? How was the entire process?
So about the process, as I told, that it was like through a referral. Then there
Hmm.
was a single coding round that was there, and followed by a single round of interview, face-to-face interview.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, the process was quite small for an internship role. They have a more rigorous process for the full-time roles. So they have 4 to 5 rounds, I guess, for the full-time
Correct.
roles. But for internship, they have a single round of interview.
Hmm.
So the internship at Amazon was a complete learning thing, because I was too much into competitive programming and I had no idea about development. So I wasn't able, like in the initial days, I wasn't able to do simple things and develop, like do my tasks well. But yeah, it was a complete learning. So I learned from
Hmm.
many things. The team was very cooperative and helped me a lot in order to like get a grip over things, and learning multiple languages and doing the task and completing the things was a big thing in 2 months.
Hmm.
So it was a difficult task when you are not aware about anything in terms of development. So yeah,
Correct.
the team helped me a lot in order to like be familiar with the things. They, in
Hmm.
fact, one of the tasks that I was given was framed in the form of data structure and algorithm problem, because they knew that this is my strong point. So they framed the problem in such a way that it is similar to my like
Yeah.
specialty. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was very good. I was like shocked ki how data structure and algorithm can actually be used in a company.
Mm-hmm. They actually get used internally, but the problem statement that is given to you is bit on a high level. You have to think and design it and implement it using the data structures and algorithms. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you mentioned about the internships, it was great, but here you mentioned one thing regarding the competitive journey and the lack of projects. So, what do you think about this? What one should have? Basically, competitive programming versus the projects. What will you choose and what would you advise to students?
As a competitive programmer, obviously competitive programming is something that I would obviously advise. But yeah,
Yeah.
projects are important. This was something that I was lacking, so I didn't have a good project during my internship. I didn't have any good project on which I can discuss. So during the internships, I will like suggest to have at least one good project, on which you can like have a discussion of 20 to 30 minutes with the interviewer. So that's
Mhm.
something which is like important. I was rejected from the project round itself in in coordination, because I didn't had any like good projects at that time during the
Correct.
internship. So yeah,
Mhm.
having one good project is like always helpful. But if it's a trade-off, then I will say competitive programming, because like it helps, because majorly interviews are basically over around the data structures and algorithms and computer science fundamentals. So
Mhm.
if I talk about internship, then competitive programming is something that I would suggest. But yeah, projects
Okay.
cannot be like skipped.
Yeah, yeah, they cannot be ignored. You have to work on few good projects at least, and side by
Yeah.
side, you have to continue with your competitive programming journey. Yeah. So, how was your interview journey? How did you land up to Direct Eye? So, what was the entire story behind it?
So the story behind it, like I appeared for the director interview quite a number of times. So firstly, during the internship, I appeared for the media.net interviews. So like media.net process. So I was able to clear the coding round, but due to lack of openings, I wasn't given a chance to actually get an interview. So yeah. So basically, then I tried for, I guess, Flock as well, and then finally I tried again for media.net in
Mm.
for the full-time role, and I got an offer from media.net, which was later on converted to a Zeta offer. And currently, I work with Zeta, which is under DirectTime.
Yeah, correct. And you mentioned you also received PPO from Amazon. Which all companies did you receive full-time offers?
So I had a full-time offer from Flipkart, Coordination, Amazon, and DirectTime.
So, all these
So
companies
out,
on campus, or did you apply
so
from outside? Yeah.
the Flipkart was an on-campus offer. Others, like
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, as you said, it was a PPO converted, and the other two were off-campus offers.
Okay. So what kind of questions and what was the interview round for Direct Eye? So Direct Eye is difficult for most of the people because the interview level of Direct Eye is quite high compared to other product-based companies. So what special thing or what different thing is there in the Direct Eye interviews?
The different thing that I would say, like they are strong data structures and algorithms. So yeah, it is like the two rounds. The first two rounds are basically focusing on data structures and algorithms completely.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like you are given us 1 hour and you are given with one problem to solve in this duration. So
Okay.
it's a tough problem that you need to like solve in the given duration.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I like learned from that interview was when you are stuck at some place, instead of wasting the time of the interviewer, ask for hints. That's completely fine. If you are able to pick the
Mm-hmm.
hints and build the logic and give a complete code at the end of the interview, the
Yeah.
interviewer will have a positive impact that you are able to pick the hints and do it on your own. So
Mm-hmm.
if you are stuck and if you think that the interview is like end for you, take a hint and give it a shot again. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
something that I learned from that interview, because I was stuck at multiple points in during the
Mm-hmm.
interview. So I asked for hint, and luckily I was able to pick the hints and build the working code, write the working code and build the logic for the same. In both the
Yeah.
rounds, I in fact asked for the hints, and yeah, so that's
Mm-hmm.
a positive, that leaves a positive impact. I learned that that leaves a positive impact on the interviewer, that the
Mm-hmm.
interview is able to actually pick the hints and build the logic.
And also mention what you are thinking at that point. So whatever logic it's going inside your head, just keep it out loud so that even interviewer can understand what you are thinking and how you are progressing.
Yeah, that you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, like you mentioned a very good point. Like
Mm-hmm.
usually people like think in their head, and they, if
Yeah.
you interact with the interviewer, then the interviewer
Mm-hmm.
will try to help. If he does not know that you
Yeah.
what you are thinking, then how will actually he even try to help you? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's very important to think out loud and interact with
Mm-hmm.
the interviewer. Like when you are writing the code also, then instead of like a complete silence when you are like writing the code, interact,
Mm-hmm.
like say this is
Yeah.
the array which I am maintaining for this purpose, so that the interviewer is connected, he is not bored
Yeah.
of the interview. He
Yeah.
knows
Correct.
when you end the writing the code, he knows that this is the working of the code and it will work. So that
Mm-hmm.
saves your time.
Yeah. Correct. And apart from the two coding rounds, what was the next round and how was the flow of direct time?
The next round was a mix of everything. So like like usually they have the final round as like director round or something like that, in which
Mm-hmm.
they can ask anything. So it can be computer science fundamentals, it can be data structure algorithms, it can be a project round, anything. So
Okay.
for me it was a mix of data structures plus the operating systems. So it was a problem that was a mix of both.
Mm-hmm. And to all the students or your juniors, what resources would you suggest them to prepare for the interviews?
So resources, like there are many resources, and I have even made multiple videos based on different resources that one can refer. So one thing that I learned from my internship was people usually prepare for interviews, and they usually skip one thing that is like more important thing than as compared to the interviews. So that is the coding rounds. So the first round for any company is a coding round, and then you actually get an opportunity to interview with them.
Correct.
So usually people go for GFT, prepare all the questions that are there in over there, and learn all the questions, mug up the questions, and do anything to like,
Clear the interview basically.
yeah. So so basically what they skip is the coding round preparation. So most of us are like not prepared for the coding rounds. So when you are
Mm.
given with three problems and you need to solve them in a 90-minute time pressure, so there are certain things that you need to like handle. You need to handle the time pressure. You need to learn to write a brute force solution rather than giving like spending 1 hour of entire duration for the complete solution. So
Yeah.
like if there are three problems and you know the logic for the first problem, and you know that it will take like half of the duration of the test. So instead of doing that, like instead of getting the 100 points, try to have a brute force solution, quick brute force solution, and get the 60 points and go to the second problem first. So that's something which you will learn when you actually get uh, exposure to the coding round. So one thing that I would like suggest is do practice the lead code rounds. They have the weekly contests. So these weekly contests are quite similar to the coding rounds that the companies have. So
Yeah.
they are basically a really very good resource to prepare for the coding rounds. Other
Mm-hmm.
than that, lead code and geeks for geeks is are like one of the best sites to prepare for the interviews. And
Yeah.
one thing that I missed was obviously computer science fundamentals. So also take care of the computer science fundamentals, get your basics clear, and like don't
Mm-hmm.
leave it for the end. Prepare it side by side along with the data structures and algorithms.
Yeah. So you don't want your mistake to be repeated by any other
Yeah.
student who are preparing for product-based companies. How is working in direct tie? So what tasks do you usually get when you get inside a company? So most students are like confused or blank. So what will we do inside a company? How does a fresher work? What do a fresher do? So can you share a little points on this?
So the working with direct eye, like it's completely new for me as well, because like I am not much into development, as I also like said previously. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was a complete learning experience for me. So I am working as an Android developer with them, and I am
Okay.
working with the main Zeta employee benefits app that they have. So many companies might be using them. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's so my team actually works on that application itself.
So you mentioned you got offer from Direct Eye off campus and even from Code Nation. So how did you manage to get that? What was the process?
So for coordination, they have a yearly Codegon that is held
Mhm.
in around September. So that was the contest that I gave to get an offer. So yeah, one thing like off-campus opportunities, you must be active on LinkedIn in order to
Yeah.
like be aware about these types of tests. So it's a very famous test, and most of the people like many people actually appear for this test. So it's a very famous test, and
Okay.
yeah. So for coordination, I gave that test, followed by which there were around 3 rounds of interviews.
Okay.
And for direct I actually had the CodeChef CCD SAP advanced level certification. So I
Mhm.
was able to get an opportunity through that. Um, so the CodeChef team actually approached for the like whether you want to have the interview. So yeah, if you have that certification, you basically skip the coding round and you get the direct interview chance. So yeah, I got the interview chance from that certification, and I already like talked about the interview rounds. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So most of the students feel that getting off-campus placement as a fresher is very, very difficult and maybe next to impossible. But that's not the case. As Abhishek has mentioned, he received two off-campus offers and even an Amazon internship as off-campus. So it is possible. You just have to find the right opportunities, stay at the right place, and go for it.
Exactly. The
So yeah.
difficult thing about the like off-campus opportunities is basically getting the off-campus opportunity. After that, the process is exactly same. Some people actually
Mm-hmm.
confuse, say, like, I during my internship I heard that the interview process is different for the off campus process is completely difficult and it's quite tough. So I heard that they would focus more on resume, they will focus more on projects, but the process
Mm-hmm.
is exactly same as it is on campus. The only thing is to get the opportunity, get into the process. After that, the things
Mm-hmm.
are completely same, and there are multiple ways to get into the process, and you just need to be aware about that.
Correct. So, what are the final tips that you want to give to a student, being a first year student, second year student, or a third year student?
So yeah, if I like divide the tips in like first year, second year, third year, as you said. So
Mm-hmm.
first year, I guess, is the time to explore. So explore your interest. If you like competitive programming, do that. If you don't like competitive programming, do development. Start learning, like go for any technology that you love to like learn. Go for Android development, iOS development, web development, or anything you like want to learn. So that's something when you explore your interest. So take
Yeah.
light on yourself. Don't,
Mm-hmm.
like, many people I have like I get many messages on LinkedIn. So first year people are like quite focused, like they are saying how to prepare data structures and algorithms, and they are very focused from the very first year. So being focused is good, but it's time to explore your interest and see what you actually like. So in
Correct.
my case, I like competitive programming, and yeah, that was. So for the second year, I will like suggest to get a grip over data structure and algorithms, because that's something really very important for the internships and placements interviews. So
Mm-hmm.
you have one complete year. So yeah, that's the time when you actually get a grip over data structure and algorithms, brush up your competence and fundamentals, and prepare for your internships. And the third year for me it was like spent in the internship journey only. So third year is the time when you actually test your skills and find your mistakes. So um, test that how what data structures you have actually missed, what are the things that are actually lacking, and work on that, so that you are able to get a good placement in the fourth year. So that's, I guess, sums up everything.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Abhishek, for such an insightful journey and tips. So we have learned a lot from you. Actually, I have learned a lot. So, we are glad to have you here on this channel. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nisha, it was great talking to you.